and welcome to another BookTube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. You join me on a very cold November Sunday. November? My hands are freezing. Today I'm doing something which is a little bit different, but I've seen a similar video on Leena Norms's channel. I think she just goes by Leena Norms now, but she used to be called Just Kiss My Frog. I'm a very big fan of Leena. I am a patron of hers. I think she's fantastic, and the content she brings out, mwah, beautiful. But she did a video where she just asked people if they wanted recommendations from her, and I was like, bloody hell, this is a really good video. So a couple of days ago on Instagram stories, I just said to people, does anybody want a recommendation from me, be it books, TV, food, everything? So many people got in touch. So many, I was unable to include everybody, so apologies if you do not get included in this video. If you don't, please comment down below and I'll try and help you out in the comments. I've got 2 pages worth and quite a hell of a lot of stuff to show you, so I'm going to get started straight away. So the first one is from Van Sloth, and she says that she would like some candle scents for a lovely cosy home and Christmas scents, and where to get them from. Now, I used to be a Yankee Candle girl, but I've fucked those off because TK Maxx and Homesense are the place to get candles. They're absolutely fantastic place to get candles. They are very, very reasonable. Yankee candles, I think, are God, I've just opened the lid on one of them and it smells amazing. Yankee candles, I think, are like anything from like £10 up to about like £20. I've never paid more than a tenner for a candle in TK Maxx or Homesense, which is like, I think basically Homesense is the homeware section of TK Maxx. So Christmassy candles, all the candles that are this size in TK Maxx are £2.99. This is Peppermint Snow. They're all by a brand called DW Home. This one, look at that sparkly lid. That is fantastic. They had a whole range of these. I regret not getting more, to be honest. Yeah, they're brilliant. This one smells like pepperminty, and what I really like about these is that you can stand them on the lid as well, so it's just like an added and extra nice thing. That, I don't know what I'm going to do with that lid afterwards, but I'm definitely be keeping it because it's lovely. As I said, they're all £2.99. The scents are fantastic. I get through one of these. I don't know how many hours burning time it is, but I probably get through one, and I have the candles on a lot. This probably get me through about 2 weeks. I've got another DW Home one over there, which is like pumpkin spice. Anything sort of like pumpkin spicy, I think, is cozy and Christmassy. Then they have different sizes. This one I think was £4.99. This is a Halloween one. This is tobacco pipe. And that's, it's got all ghosts on it. Can you see? Yeah, I think you can. It's got all ghosts on it. This was £4.99. That came in a nice box. That smells nice as well. And then this this range, the DW Home actual range, this was £5.99. And this is massive. This is 33 hours burning time. This is, they are so highly scented. They are absolutely fantastic. This is blackcurrant and pumpkin. Around Halloween, they had a whole range of and pumpkin. So there was like vanilla and pumpkin, espresso and pumpkin, bourbon and pumpkin, just vanilla, like everything, chocolate and pumpkin. And I got the blackcurrant and pumpkin one. They are so highly scented. And even like to walk into a room of one of these just with the lid off, it is enough to make the room smell beautiful. So those are candles that I love. They're the cheaper versions. Now, another range that I really, really like the look of, and I've never owned one. I've bought one for a gift before. I bought one for, I think I bought it for Mercedes for Christmas last year, is a brand called Skandinavisk. I'll insert what one of them looks here. You might well have seen them. I've seen them in like John Lewis and things like that. They are £40 for a candle, which isn't as big as this. So they are high end, but they smell amazing, and they've got like candle names like Huga and Skog and things like that. They're really like Scandinavian lovely candles. They all smell amazing, but I've never burnt one. But yeah, if you're looking for sort of like a higher end one, that's that. Anyway, 4 minutes of candles. We've still got loads more stuff to go through. Love Landy says she would like recommendations for getting cozy. 3 recommendations within this. In particular, bath bombs and bubble bars, snack recommendations, and hot chocolate. So my bath bomb and bubble bar recommendation for getting cozy is Twilight. That is a bath bomb from Lush. It is a sort of like, remember when I mentioned earlier this year I had a shower gel which was like sexy lavender? That is what that is. The Experimenter, which is probably my favourite bath bomb of all time, and it's like smoky, it's this hexagonal shape, it's got like dark colours in it. Oh my god, it's just amazing. They are both proper cosy ones. Snack recommendations. One thing that I have really recently been eating, and this will also come up, this is in the Christmas range in Marks and Spencer. These are milk chocolate cinnamon sugar tortilla rolls. They look like this. I've opened these. They look like this, and they are tortilla rolls rolled up with chocolate on. Really nice. David actually told me he didn't like those, but I've seen him eating them, so he's a liar. And then the last thing she wanted was hot chocolate. Now, there's only one place I would recommend for hot chocolate, and that is Whittards. They're just fantastic. They've got a whole host of like ranges of hot chocolates. Like, you don't just have hot chocolate, you have like different types of hot chocolate. This is one I bought earlier this year and it is lovely. This is Mumbai Spice White Hot Chocolate. I mean, aside from anything, look at this beautiful tub it comes in. This is a sweet but spicy culture shock with aromatic cinnamon and turmeric. Gorgeous. The Storybook Girl says tea. I've got 3 favourite teas that I've got at the moment. No, I haven't. 2. 3, one that I haven't got. The first one is my go-to brown tea. It's decaf. Now, I only drink decaf teas because I feel like caffeine makes me a bit depressed. So I used to drink, my favourite decaf tea used to be Barry's. But they don't sell decaf tea. You can sometimes get like Barry's tea in like the Irish section of supermarkets, but very, very rarely will you get decaf Barry's tea. So David and I have been known to order boxes from Barry's in Ireland and then get them shipped over. A few people have bought them for us as gifts, sent us to us, and then when we've been in Ireland we've bought them, but you can't always get it. So the dupe for that is Yorkshire tea, decaf tea, but my sister had these, which is PG Tips The Tasty Decaf, around our house, and it's bloody lovely. There's something in it, and now I can't find anywhere what it says it is, but there's something sort of like background herbal flavour in this decaf. It's lovely, it's really thirst quenching, and it's just gorgeous. It's probably, like, I would say it's better than Barry's. David doesn't like it. David doesn't like something that's got like a herbal background. He much prefers Barry's, but these are, they're my fave. They're bloody delicious. Yesterday I was at my sister's house and I had a tea, which I believe was from Tesco's. It's called a Pamper tea, which was fennel and lemongrass. That was delicious. And then another one, which is another seasonal one, which I've actually just realised I've only got 1 tea bag left, so I need to get more of these. This is Sainsbury's Taste the Difference Chocolate Orange Flavour Infusion. Really chocolatey, really orangey. So delicious. Delicious when it's hot, delicious when it's cooled down a bit, delicious when it's almost cold and it's in the bottom of the tea, bottom of the mug, and I think I'm just going to go for it anyway. Really good. £2.50 for 15 tea bags, so a bit of a, might even be £3.50. Bit of a high-end treat, but absolutely delicious. They've got a whole range of those. I've got another pomegranate one, which is nice, but just not as nice as that. The Bee Gal says she's got a company Christmas party coming up. It's semi-formal. What should she wear? If I was going to a semi-formal Christmas party, now Christmas, I can't not wear sequins at Christmas, so I'd go for something sequiny, but with something like plain with it to be like, so it's like semi-formal. So if you like a sequin skirt and a plain black top, or like a sequin top and a plain black pair of trousers, or just something. I saw a girl wearing a leopard print skirt with a white roll neck, and it just looked so gorgeous, and that is semi-formal. I hope that's helpful to you. That's the sort of thing that I would wear. This name that I can't say, Une Gunja Jo March, says book set in the UK. Now, number 1, Daphne Du Maurier, her book set in the UK, fantastic. They're historical fiction ones, but I would definitely recommend a Daphne Du Maurier. Also, the Essex Serpent, if we're keeping on sort of like track with historical fiction books that are set in the UK. Bridget Jones' Diary, which is one of my favourite books of all time. Although it's set like in early 2000s, I really feel like I've grown up with that book. I've read it a number of times throughout my life, and I really want to read it again. I might read it again soon. And I feel like that is a good representation of what London's like and what working in London is like. Zadie Smith books, she's very good. She writes, majority of her books are written in North London, which is a good, I love Zadie Smith books. The Girl on the Train, which was recently made into a film, that book is originally set in London, and she commutes into London every day, which is something that many people, including my one true love David, does every day. And the Cormoran Strike series, written by Robert Galbraith, the series that is a crime series and follows Cormoran Strike, who's a private investigator. Those books are set in London, but he goes to all over the country. So yeah, hopefully there's some helpful ones for you. Hogman C.M. Rel says she would like some lesbian or queer books similar to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, or just any lesbian or queer book. Haven't read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, so I've just gone for lesbian queer books. Anything by Sarah Waters. I've read 2 of her books, and both of them I bloody loved. One of them I read this year, The Paying Guest, one of my favourite books of the year. I read The Tip in the Velvet last year, another one of my favourite books. I've read another one. I've read The Little Stranger, which hasn't got any lesbian themes in it. I don't think it has, but the other 2 definitely have. And I've also got Night Watch, Affinity, Fingersmith. They're all like, you can't go wrong with that. If you're into historical fiction and you want lesbian queer literature, go for that. I've also read The Miseducation of Cameron Post this year, which I really enjoyed. That was YA about Cameron, whose mother and father died when she's very young, and she's brought up in quite religious background with her aunt, and they find out that she's lesbian, and they send her to a sort of like church camp to sort of bash the lesbian out of her. Very interesting. That's been made into a film recently as well. Alice Lippard, hi Alice. She says feminist books. So, 2 books that I've read recently that I absolutely adored and will be in my wrap-up coming out my November wrap-up. Feminists Don't Wear Pink, which is a collection of feminist essays written by women all over the world, from all backgrounds, all races, all just I've loved it, and that's curated by Scarlett Curtis, and it's just, I've really enjoyed that. And then I started that on Cozy Reading Night, and I should have them here with me really. I also started reading Raw by Cecilia Ahern, which is a short story collection about 30 different women. Really enjoyed the way this was done actually. None of the women are specifically named in the story, so it's sort of like the woman who was put on the shelf, the woman who was pigeonholed, the woman who just those sort of things. Like, they're really fantastic stories. I really enjoyed that. So those are 2 books that I've really very much enjoyed. And then also, I mean, I'm always going to recommend The Handmaid's Tale. I feel like that is probably my go-to feminist fiction book. But also anything by Caitlin Moran, would recommend those guys. S-Walls95 says she would like some decent, specific festive food. So I was talking to my sister and her husband about this last night, and we've come up with a few things. So the first thing I would recommend, if you're into cinnamon and chocolate, get these guys because they're bloody delicious. Also, Leon, which is a fast food store in the UK, I always love their vegan Christmas wrap. Oh my God. I don't think the past 2 years, I don't think they've changed much in it. But their vegan Christmas wrap is just bloody delicious. So if you get a chance to go to a Leon, I haven't had that chance yet, but I am going to get that chance soon. And I'm going to definitely have a Leon Christmas wrap because, oh my God, they're so good. So definitely get that. Mince pie ice cream I've had. They do some of that in Lidl and in Aldi, which are supermarket chains in the UK. I think they're European, so you may well get that elsewhere as well. I've had that, very nice. I was reading Witch magazine, which is a magazine in the UK which sort of compares so many things. Like, my cousin subscribed to it, and I read her Christmas one, and they were comparing mince pies, and the mince pie that came out on top was Asda Extra Special All Butter 6 Luxury Mince Pies, and I bought these yesterday to take to my sister's for dinner. I really liked them. Charlotte and Stuart Charlotte was unbothered. Stuart just said they were just like a normal mince pie, but I thought they were really good. I don't know if that's because, I mean, I'm very influenced, so it may just be because I'd heard that they were the best ones, but really, if you're looking for good mince pies, and I think they were like 150, they work out like 25p a, yeah, they were 150 because they work out 25p a mince pie, which is pretty reasonable. Put them in the microwave, put them in the oven for a bit, and then a bit of custard on top. Lovely. Also, Stuart was saying that he has had the Tesco Christmas sandwich this year, just the normal Tesco one, not like Tesco embellishment one. I haven't had any Christmas sandwiches yet this year, and he said it was very nice. So if you're looking for a good Christmas sandwich, apparently the Tesco one's very nice. Leanne's Ray has asked for 3 recommendations. She wants board games to play for 2 people. David and I love backgammon, and one of my favourite memories is of not even last Christmas, the Christmas before, just like staying up late in between Christmas and New Year just playing backgammon with David, listening to vinyls. Oh, it was bliss. Also, Ticket to Ride is a game that my friend Emma got for Christmas last year, which is like a strategy game where you have to work your way across Europe with like building train lines and things like that. That's very good for with all number of people, but particularly with two players. It's a big board, so you need a big table, but very enjoyable. And Mapominoes, which is a game I will forever promote. I absolutely love it. It's like dominoes, but with maps, and you get an area, so like a continent of the world, and you have to match them all up. I love that. That again is good with any amount of people, but with 2 people it really is quite quick fire and enjoyable. She also wanted some gentle or easy watch TV. Gilmore Girls is something that I started watching earlier this year. Very gentle and easy watching. Something that's just gone on to Amazon Prime that David and I are super big fans of is New Girl. Absolutely love New Girl with Zoe Deschanel. Absolutely love it. And also my sister said The Goldbergs, which I know David is a big fan of too. I don't know, I think that's on More 4. But that's very, is it called 4? It might be called 4OD or 4 Every Day. I'm so out of touch, guys. I don't know. I just sit down and put things on. And then the last thing she wants is things to do in Kent. So I've gone wild with Margate here because Margate was so good. I love Margate. It's a seaside town. It's quite a tired seaside town, but they've really started putting a bit of money into it and opening up some little independent shops and some independent restaurants and stuff. Simon and Chris, his husband, came to visit us earlier this year, and we went to Margate for the day. Simon has made a fantastic vlog about this. I will link that down below, and if you don't want to go to Margate after you've seen that vlog, then I do not know what more I can do for you. But things there that are brilliant: GB Pizza, which is a pizza restaurant, amazing, caters for vegans, vegetarians, gluten-free, all sorts, lovely. The Shell Grotto, which is the best £4 I've ever spent. So this Shell Grotto under someone's house in 1800, a workman dropped a spade down a hole, and they found this massive shell grotto, which is just, it blew my mind. In terms of Maidstone, there's a place called Moat Park, which is lovely for walks, particularly like the autumnal winter time of year. And also they run like specialist walks. So David, myself and Emma went on a bat walk earlier this year, I think in September, where we walked around just at dusk, and we all got given like sonar equipment and we're listening to the bats. And then Emma and I last weekend went on a tree walk, which was sort of slightly overshadowed by the fact I was desperately trying to get Spice Girl tickets on my phone. But that was amazing, and he showed us like the trees that have been there the longest, and it was just fantastic. Coastal walks, like Kent is very coastal. There's a beach, like always going to be a beach about less than an hour's drive away. Whitstable I really like, and Wildwood, which is a place in Canterbury which has animals that are native to the country. So if we hadn't have just like built everywhere and fucked everything up, then that's what they're the animals that were there. So really like Arctic foxes and sphinxes. Sphinxes? Do I mean sphinxes? Do I mean sphinx? Lynx. Sphinxes. Sphinx is mythical, but yeah, very good. Comfort Read says, films you watch to get cozy. Hocus Pocus is probably one of my #1 films to get Hocus Pocus. When I was writing these down, I was thinking, there's a lot of witch related stuff here. Fantastic Mr. Fox, very, very good film. The Perks of Being a Wallflower as well, which is also slightly Christmassy. It's set around Christmas time, so it's quite enjoyable. The Craft, which is a slightly scarier one, but still very good. And obviously, Harry Potter, any sort of Harry Potter. Imaginary says, a cruelty-free lipstick in a brownish shade, and this description she used, like Cordelia from Buffy would have. I'm interested in that. Now, I've only used 2 cruelty-free lipsticks. Lush, I've got one that they come in like little bottles. I'd be very, if people can help out with this, then I would be interested to hear that. But also Charlotte Tilbury, they've got one out called Pillow Talk, which is on my Christmas list. I think that's sort of like the thing you're looking for. So yeah, hopefully, but maybe other people can help out with that. Kaylee Taylor 28 says meat-free meals, which are easy to do for work. So my main thing that I do for lunches at work are leftovers from the night before. So David and I, whatever we're having, I would always cook a meal for 4, and then David and I take the remainder to work the next day. Things like that, we do pasta, phyllo tarts, like a lot of just like bit of phyllo pastry, and then put stuff on top of it, and then have a quarter of that for dinner and then a quarter for work the next day. Very enjoyable. I made a delicious ratatouille, which like that could have gone for an extra lunch, but it was so good and we just ate it all. Salads, a lot of salads with like sort of roasted veg and stuff like that on top. Yeah, just basically leftovers. Like, if my #1 tip for getting good lunches is just to make loads the night before, because leftovers, I always think things always taste better the next day anyway. And yeah, that's my #1 tip. There's a cruelty-free beauty shops and products which are other than Lush. So I've got 3 here. Liz Earle, she has a range in Boots and Superdrug, which is cruelty-free. Really enjoy her products that I've used so far. Sainsbury's, my #1 true love, Sainsbury's. They have loads and loads of cruelty-free, like all of their own brand stuff is cruelty-free. And Lacura, which is a range that they sell in Aldi, which is a supermarket, like a budget supermarket. Only found out that was cruelty-free yesterday, so very, very fun. I had a few things of that that I'd bought sort of like over before I'd fully gone cruelty-free, so I've been using that stuff up. But yeah, particularly their skincare, I haven't used, but it's supposed to be very, very good. Corianne Heath says, best budget presents ideas for someone who doesn't read much. Straight away I thought plants. I think plants are a really, really nice thing to do. I've recently got into plants and I've been very good at keeping them alive. Previously I was not that good at keeping them alive, and I know that I've got, I feel like if you had a Secret Santa or something like that, a plant would be a good thing. You can also get like really good pots and stuff from supermarkets in terms of plants and things like that. What another thing I thought, David and I one year for his mum and dad made a hamper of their favourite things. So it wasn't necessarily like the most expensive things, but it was like crisps that they really like, or a tea that they really like. And just things like just their favourite things, which I think is really like personal and nice as well, and not necessarily things that people would treat themselves to all the time. And sort of in theme with that as well, David's mum has done this for us before, where she made us a night in kit, which was just the cutest thing. She got us like a pair of pyjamas each, which you didn't even need to include, but like a blanket, a DVD, some snacks and things like that, and that was just lovely. And then we did actually like use that night in kit, and it was just lovely. So that was one thing she did for us, and I just feel like that's a really nice thing to do for someone, to create a sort of kit of something. Somebody else whose name I didn't write here has said vegetarian breakfast recipe ideas. I follow an Instagram account which is called What I Ate for Breakfast. I will link it down below. I get a hell of a lot of breakfast ideas from there. It's really, really good Instagram account. She's got hundreds of thousands of followers. But it's really like achievable stuff. You look at it and actually think it's not like really curated into this beautiful picture. It just looks delicious. So I think that's really achievable. Something I've got from there is a crumpet bake. Now, you all know how much I love crumpets. She gets crumpet, cuts it into quarters, then puts it in like a tray, drizzles it in egg and cheese and a bit of milk, and then like bakes it. And a bit of Marmite as well, delicious. And then one of my favourite places to go for breakfast is a cafe near to me called Emily's, and they do something called a veggie stack, which is bubble and squeak, like a little stack of bubble and squeak with halloumi and an egg on top and like some spinach. Oh, that is just yum, yum, yum. Imposing Dinosaurs says cookbooks. I've got 3 of my favourite cookbooks plus a bonus one that I just got down because there's a recipe in there that I'm going to be making next week. My #1 favourite cookbook so far this year has been The Green Roasting Tin by Rukmini Iya. This is just fantastic. It is amazing. It's got a whole massive section of vegan stuff at the beginning, massive section of vegetarian stuff at the back. I have absolutely changed some meat-loving people's lives with the recipes made out of here. Everything is cooked in a massive tin. It's basically, there's no sort of like sweat this for this. Everything is just cooked and gone for. It's just all delicious. So look, crisp cauliflower steaks with harissa and goat cheese. This is one of our favourite ones. Chipotle roasted sweet corn with squash, black beans, feta and lime. That is so yummy. Yeah. Rich potato and mushroom gratin with cream and reblochon. Delicious. I'll give you a vegan one just to whet your appetite. Carrot and kale fattoush, crisp pita with spiced roasted carrots, kale, dates and lemon. So good. And like, I've made so many things out of here, and I will continue to make so many things out of here because it is just all delicious. This cookbook that I got for Christmas for my birthday last year from David, I've only recently made some stuff out of it, but let me tell you, it was bloody delicious. This is Fresh India. This whole book is basically vegan, but they do have some sort of like vegetarian options in here. You can see here gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan. That's Goan butternut squash kefril. The thing I made out of here doesn't even have a picture. That's how confident in it that it was going to be delicious. Is the autumn pilau with aubergines, tomato and chickpeas. And then alongside that I made roasted broccoli with almonds and cardamom. Such a good book. I made so much of that autumn pilaf that I think we had it for dinner one night, we had it for lunch the next day and lunch the day after. It was absolutely delicious. Another one of my favourite cookbooks is a soup cookbook. David is not mad on soups. I love soups. This is a soup for every day by New Covent Garden Food. I got this years ago, and every day of the year has a soup. So for instance, today is November the 18th, and it shows you things that are in season. So today it's wild mushroom, and it's really, really easy to make, and there's no like pictures or anything, so it's not waste. It's just the real deal stuff here. There's quite a lot of like meat and vegetarian stuff, so it's not always gonna stick to the day that you've got, but a lot of vegetarian soups, and they're really, really nice. Might want to make a soup next week. And then the cookbook that I got down because I'm making something out of it this week is A Girl Called Jack. I think I'm so excited. I'm breathless with excitement about these cookbooks. 100 delicious budget recipes. Jack Monroe, you all know I'm a fan of her. But the thing I'm going to make out of it, let me see if I can find it. It is the most wintry, delicious stew. It is chestnut and red wine casserole. Oh my god, it is so delicious. Every year I make it on the run up to Christmas, and it's just so yummy. I make it when people come round because it is just like the most warming, delicious thing ever. So those 4 cookbooks I would definitely recommend. They're like some of my 4 favourite cookbooks. Hannah J26 says my favourite virtual fireplace, and let me tell you, Hannah J26, I did quite a lot of research about this. So I looked onto YouTube to find my favourite virtual fireplace, and there is one on there called Birchwood. Now I will link that fireplace down below. It's 36 minutes long, so you can get like 8-hour long ones which are fantastic and have great sounds and look great. But what I love about this 36-minute long Birchwood one is that the wood actually burns down as you go. So a lot of the ones that last a really long time, the wood doesn't change, so it's just like a a loop of an image of some fire burning for ages. But the birchwood one, the wood does change, and I love it. It's the one that is also on Netflix, so that's the one I always use for cozy reading night. So as I said, it is only 36 minutes, so you do have to put it on again, but really, really love that one. That's my favourite. And then the last one is Ellie Oaten, and she said she wants, she's got lots of people coming around to play games this Christmas, and she would like to play games with them, preferably something without a board. So I've got 3 here. The first one is Linky, which is a card game where all the cards have spell out Linky on the back. So one has an L, one has an I, N, K, E, E. And to win the game, you have to collect, you have to answer questions right to get the cards. And then whoever spells out Linky the first is the winner. So that, you don't need a board, like everyone can sit wherever they want. Really enjoy that about the game. And it's questions about what links a certain amount of questions. Very good. Knowledge is Power, which is a game on the PlayStation that David recently got. You can download an app to your phone and you play a quiz game with other people on the TV. So you don't need a board for that. You can sit on the sofa, you can do that. We've had some great laughs playing that. We've played it with my sister, we played it with my friend Emma, we played it with Simon and Chris when they came round. We very much enjoy playing that, and we're going to be playing that at Christmas. And then the last one is an old favourite that I used to play when I was younger, and that's Categories. Again, you don't need a board for that, but you do have a pad where you write things. So you get a dice with lots of different letters on it, and you roll the dice, and then whatever letter comes up, you have a section of categories that you have to write answers linking to that letter. So it might be, you might roll a C and it will be girl's name beginning with C, something that's cold, a school subject, something in your handbag, things like that. And if you get the same answer as someone else, you don't get a point. So you have to think of obscure answers. So that has been going around. I remember like going to Christmas parties when I was a young girl and playing that, so that's very enjoyable. So those are some recommendations that I can give you. Let me know if you have enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, and yeah, if you want, if I haven't answered your recommendation, then please do comment down below and I'll do my best to help, and also maybe other people will be able to help you. I love it when I see people chatting down there. I love it, and I will see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye.